guys, Eric here from Our Radical Sabbatical. My wife and I decided to sell our house 2 years ago and travel the world and to see sites that we'd always dreamed of seeing, places that we'd always thought it would be neat to live. Slow travel. Slow travel's different than a vacation, where in a vacation you are trying to hit as many of the sites as possible, and I'm still fighting that urge in myself. In these videos, I'm going to be discussing as many of the slow travel destinations as possible. And with that said, our first slow travel destination on our Radical Sabbatical was the island of Madeira. We had traveled to Scotland with my sister, a very wonderful trip, but a 14-day quick journey through Scotland. We had a great time. So in these videos, I'm going to be outline how we did the slow travel journey, what budget tricks we used to get the best rates, and how we were able to stay somewhere for a month for a very low cost and enjoy the island and everything it had to offer. And with that said, no longer ado, let's move on to Madeira. Welcome to Our Radical Sabbatical, where Andrea and I attempt to slow travel the world on a budget. We hope you get something out of this. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And please like and subscribe. Andrea and I landed at Funchal Airport on the island of Madeira. As you can see, it's beautiful, but it's one of the hardest airports to land in. In fact, it requires special testing and a special certificate. I don't believe in the word retirement, so I'm Chief Pool Officer. That's what I am. After I declared myself the chief pool officer, we made our way to the west coast of Madeira, to this beautiful area around Porto Munoz. As you can see, there's beautiful tide pools and crabs, and the whole island really has this look. It's not like a national park by itself. It's just the whole island looks like this. It's actually closer to Morocco than it is to Europe, which is a little bit of foreshadowing for our Radical Sabbatical. Anyway, we enjoyed this area immensely, watching the clouds and the waves and the rocks. It's a volcanic area, formed by volcanoes. So they built tide pools as well for swimming. Here's one of those tide pools now with Andrea waiting for a wave like the kids before. I was so proud of her for doing this. Here's the kids and adults and also couples enjoying the tide pools. They have these set up. The cost is pretty affordable. I can't remember. I think it was $5 to go as a couple, maybe 10 as a couple. This is our town, Magdalena do Mar, where we lived for a month. We lived in a wonderful little Airbnb with a pool. It was basically a pool house for a couple. The wife was an English teacher at the college, so it was really nice. She could speak perfect English, especially since we couldn't speak any Portuguese. One of the cool things about bananas that I didn't know was that they grow up, as you can see here on the vines. Actually, on the plants, they're not vines. This is Lauri Silva, which is the ancient laurel forest on Madeira. If you would like to have less people there, go very early. And you need a car to get there. It's up on the mountain. But what a gorgeous place. It has an otherworldly feel. You'll see a lot of Instagrammers and stuff hanging out there. But if you get there early enough, you can avoid them. Renting a car on the island was not too bad. I rented a Fiat for a whole month for about $300 and used my Capital One points to pay for it. So for me, it was free. What a gorgeous spot. We really enjoyed our time here. It was quite relaxing. More of Lauri Silva, or Lauri Silva. Up on the mountain, there's quite a few hikes as well. And I thought this was a gorgeous spot. It's odd if you're there and it's very sunny when you first get there. Just wait for an hour or so and the fog will roll in. It rolls in up off of the ocean and it hits the mountains and high points, and then it becomes foggy. The island of Madeira has 150 tunnels. for vehicle traffic and otherwise. It's kind of known as a Swiss cheese island. The island of Madeira is covered with what they call levadas, which is this irrigation ditch to Andrea's left here. As we hiked along this irrigation ditch, we noticed there was lots of waterfalls. So this trail actually engages with those waterfalls, as you will see here in a moment. Enjoy. Like Disney, the backside of water. You can hear the hollow noise here because these pieces of concrete are on top of a levada that goes this direction, covering the water, and this is just a wonderful irrigation system. At this point in this hike, I was just very proud of Andrea because there, as you can see, there's no railing here and there's a straight off drop. She is afraid of heights, and she really had conquered that on this trip, which was quite impressive, I thought. Madeira is truly a hiker's paradise. Here I am walking along some more of those concrete things that are covering irrigation ditches called levada. And these levada, like I said, go all over the island. They bring water from the highland springs down to the lowlands and the coastal areas so that there's fresh water everywhere on Madeira. Just a paradise of a place, much like Hawaii of Europe, which is what they call it. I actually kind of enjoyed the noise these things made. It was kind of soothing in a way, but it was the only noise around, that and the water flowing. Oh, careful. This is the Pico de Arraiado to Pico Ruvo hike. I hope I pronounced that correct. It's between two peaks up on the top of the island. Quite large peaks, as you can see. A very beautiful, beautiful hike. One of the prettiest in the world, I think. You can see the ocean around on the outside. And if you go up early in the morning, early enough, you can see the sunrise. And what a gorgeous hike it was. I think you'd just enjoy this hike with us.
Almost looks like they landscaped it.
They might have. Well, they have a heck of a trail. It's like a huge attraction for the island. Number one attraction for the island. At this point, I'm breathing pretty hard. It's quite a hike, quite quite a long one. You go way down and then you come way back up. I can't remember the distance, but it's easy to look up. But at the other side, we had to get a taxi. And we hired a taxi with a couple of other people, so it ran us about, I think, $75, it may be $50 for the couple. And that took us back to our car, which was on the other side at the other peak. So basically, there's two peaks. You hike across the top with these dramatic views, and then when you get to the other peak, you can either go all the way back or you can catch a cab. For people that are 60 like us, I think catching a cab was a good idea. And part of the reason for the expense of the cab was the distance. It took about 2.5, 3 hours to get back from one peak to the other because you have to go all the way down to the ocean and all the way back up into the mountains again. And I did say it's peak to peak, but part of that is you're hiking through a canyon to the other peak. So on this hiker's paradise of an island, we'll kind of wrap up with this one here, which was just absolutely gorgeous. Less well known, lots of tunnels, lots less people. Didn't see hardly any people. Was quite the joy and quite a way to wrap up the trip. We enjoyed our time immensely in Madeira and can't wait really to go back one day. It is a place that rarely do we repeat places, but this could be a place that we do that. As we look at beautiful Madeira, just a quick recap of the budget savings that we had. My Capital One points paid for my Airbnb, which was about $1,300. My Capital One app also paid for my rental car because I used their credit, which was about $300. My American Airlines points paid for our airfare from London Heathrow to Madeira. Funchal, we had an absolutely great time. It's time to rest, like Andrea here. Goodbye from Madeira. Have a good day. Well, that wraps up Madeira. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Let me know if you have any ideas for future videos and how I can improve. I really appreciate it. I know this is a real amateur job, but I enjoyed doing it, and it was the first of many. That's what I'm going to try to do. Thank you.